Hi everyone. Thanks for clicking, and I promise this will be quick and worth the time. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, our house management team announced a new initiative, a service coaching program. Since that announcement went out, we've heard from several of you, and most of the feedback we're getting is positive. We're also getting a few questions and concerns, which fall into a few categories which have revealed what seem to be some key concerns that some of you may share. I wanted to take just a few minutes to provide some additional information in context, along with some updates based on your feedback. The first thing I want to share is that the impetus for this entire program actually came from you, from the Usher pool. Several of you, not just one, two, or three, have taken some time over the last 6 to 8 months to share with several of the MODs and myself that you felt that certain elements of our standards of hospitality and service may have started to slowly slip away. After some internal discussions and making my own observations, I ultimately agreed and began to draw on my education and experience in hospitality and tourism management to start to create a solution. Now, before I go farther, let me first be clear. We are not talking about major issues. I've never seen any of you become rude with a patron, intentionally smuggle someone in without a ticket because you know there were empty seats, or ignore any policy or procedure on purpose. I've said it 100 times before, and I'll say it 100 times again. We bring the shows, but you bring the spirit. What makes the Sharon special isn't me, or Alec, Tina, or Savannah, or even Jason or Whitney. It's you, and the way you make people feel welcomed and like they're at home. This is something that I've watched you do so well for the 3.5 years since I started here. I see you every night getting our patrons in the building, to their seats, and everywhere in between, safely and effectively. I don't question for a second whether we do these things consistently well. And I don't question whether the rest of the venues in the villages do either. Like I said, it's not big, glaring problems. Rather, it's small, missed opportunities to really knock their socks off. Things like sitting on the armchairs on the balcony level while the balcony doors are open. This leads to at least one of three problems. One, patrons come up the elevator to the third floor and don't know where to go because there's no one there to greet them. Two, they enter the auditorium before the house is open. This can cause us big problems with certain tours and their contract clauses. We can even get fined with some artists. Three, they come around the corner and just catch us lounging around rather than being ready to help. Not a great picture of hospitality. Another example is scanner operations. Recently, at HMS Pinafore, a pair of patrons made it all the way to their seats in the auditorium with tickets to the performance from the night before. The patrons had no idea that they weren't actually at Celebrating Meatloaf, and we didn't stop them at the entrance when their tickets went red on the scanners. Luckily, all of this occurred before the show had begun, as opposed to the alternative of trying to sort out a seating issue during the show. But between you and me, it's gone that way too. Lastly, I sometimes see lots of us, myself included, getting right into the business of our positions and blowing right through the easiest form of hospitality, a warm greeting and a friendly goodbye. For example, it's easy at ticket scanning to just see the barcode, beep, scan, biddling, get the chime, and wave the next guest forward. And on its face, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, efficiency is a good thing, right? But how much more special would a first-time guest's visit be if the first words out of every single staff member and volunteer's mouth was some form of cheerful and sincere, "Hello, welcome to the Sharon," And what if the last sentence of every interaction was a warm and friendly, enjoy the show, or see you again soon? And what if every looky loo without a ticket to a performance wanting to stick their head in left with an advertisement for our behind the curtain tour rather than a blanket, sorry, you have to have a ticket? Now, all of these small yet intentional things add up to a level of gold standard service that has set the Sharon apart over the last 10 years. And together, it's time to embrace and protect that culture of excellence for many years more. Okay, I think that's enough context and backstory, and I hope I've made my point. Now, I promised some additional information and some updates based on your feedback, so here it goes. First of all, some of you have expressed concern that this is going to be a program focused solely on the negative and opportunities for improvement, or that certain people would be singled out based on one mistake rather than your holistic performance. We heard you, and we are adding to the program. This augmentation to the program will allow staff, trainers, and any other usher working a shift to formally recognize an usher who you see doing a great job. Coming soon, we'll have some way to go business cards available from house management. Any usher will be able to request a way to go card and give it to any other usher for going above and beyond for our guests. Once you collect 5 cards, you'll be able to redeem them for a $15 gift card to one of our local community partners. Redemption will only be available during usher meetings, so remember to bring your cards and be ready to celebrate with your fellow ushers while you grab your loot. It's our hope that this new peer recognition program will help surface all of the incredible work that we already know that you do every single time that you come to volunteer. Secondly, some of you have expressed concerns about how this feedback would be crafted and delivered. To address those concerns, I would first like to refer you to the name of the program, because I chose it very intentionally. Service coaching. Coaches, not elites, not know-it-alls, and certainly not, as one of you put it, Gestapo, which I thought was more than a little bit of a reach, but I digress. Coaches. The best coaches see it all. The good that needs fostering, the bad that needs fixing, and the ugly that needs eliminating. The best coaches build their teams up, and they know they can't do that by tearing individuals down. The best coaches know they don't know it all, and so they don't act like they do. And lastly, the best coaches are prepared. I want you to know that our trainers who've agreed to also become service coaches have attended 2 hours of training. I developed the content in-house with consultation from an executive leadership coach, and we covered everything from learning and communication styles to how to develop and deliver clear, kind, actionable, and effective feedback. Then we covered exactly what to coach and what to let management handle in our specific context. After that, we announced the program to you and included that same matrix of what to coach and what to let management address, so that everyone is on the same page. In short, this program is not being approached with a let's throw a bowl of spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks mentality. It's being done with intentionality, for a purpose, and at the highest level of quality we can bring to bear. It's very likely that we'll encounter some questions and snags that we didn't anticipate. And so we'll pivot and learn and grow together. Which brings me to the last concern of note that some of you have expressed. Let me assure you that we don't want to push anyone out. Rather, we want to bring everyone along on a new journey of recommitment to what makes the Sharon the Sharon. What makes us special? It's more than just the pretty stained glass and the fake organ pipes. It's more than the acts that Sierra books. It's the emotional connection that people have made with the Sharon that they just don't seem to have made as deeply with the Savannah or the Tracy. In short, It's you. It's every interaction you have. It's making every patron feel welcomed and like they belong. It's every interaction with every patron every time. You have spent the last 10 years making the Sharon incredible. Together, we'll commit to making the next 10 years even better. And this is just the start. I hope this has answered some of your questions and hesitations. If you'd like to talk more or ask questions, your house management team and I are ready to hear from you. Just email foh@significantproductions.org and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. On behalf of everyone at SigPro, thank you for your passion for the arts and your commitment to the mission and values of our venues. I'll see you at the Sharon. Bye now.